If you hear this, you survive things nobody knows. You carry weight that would've broken most men. You stayed when love grew cold. You rose when your heart collapsed. You hid your tears so your people could breathe. You call that weakness? No, that was the moment God called you a man.
A man breaks quiet, leads in silence, fights his battles far from violence, holds his family with fractured hands, and somehow still he tries to stand. Strength ain't steel, strength is scars, strength is praying under stars. A man is built when no one sees, a man is made on shattered knees.
You ever scream so loud inside your mind that even God felt it tremble, but you never let a soul hear it? It's manhood. Not the bragging, not the flex, not the chest puffed out. It's when your heart was bruised to pulp, but you still got up at dawn, put on your shoes and whispered, I'll try again. You ever break in the shower, let the water hide your tears and dry your face and pretend nothing's wrong because you didn't want anyone to carry your burden? That's manhood. You ever take the blame for storms you didn't cause just because you were the only one strong enough to handle the outcome? You ever loved someone so hard you lost parts of yourself and still forgave? In places no one can see, that's manhood. Not loud, not proud, not perfect, but faithful. Even in exhaustion, even in heartbreak, even in
a man breaks quiet, bleeds in silence, fights his battles far from violence, holds his family with fractured hands, and somehow still he tries to stand. Strength ain't steel, strength is scars, strength is praying under stars. A man is built when no one sees, a man is made on shattered knees.
Yeah. Real men don't brag about pain, they weaponize it. Turn it to fuel, turn it to purpose, turn it to prayer. A man holds anger in his teeth but chooses peace. A man could destroy but chooses mercy. A man could walk away but chooses to stay. A man could lie but chooses truth, even when it costs him, even when it breaks him, even when it feels unfair. He protects, he forgives, he rebuilds. He stands between darkness and the people he loves, even when he's bleeding in the dark with no applause, no spotlight, no crowd. A real man is a fortress, even when the bricks inside are crumbling. He says I'm fine, cause he doesn't want his loved one shaking. This ain't weakness, this ain't shame, this is the battlefield where God makes kings.
The Lord is near to the brokenhearted, He saves the crushed in spirit. A righteous man falls 7 times but rises again. Rise again. Rise again.
You fell, but not forever. You bled, but not to death. You walked through fire, kept your breath. Now rise, flame in your bones, heat in your veins, God in your chest. Stand tall, you are not what hurt you, you are what survived it. Every scar, scripture, every wound, a crown. Every night you didn't quit, heaven wrote your name down. Men don't collapse, they transform. Men aren't born, they're forged inside the furnace, inside the fire, inside the war. You are a flame born, you are chosen, you are man, because you rose again. A flame born, you were chosen, you are man, because you rose again.
A man breaks quiet, leads in silence, fights his battles far from violence, holds his family with fractured hands, and somehow still he tries to stand. Strength ain't steel, strength is scars, strength is praying under stars. A man is built when no one sees, a man is made on shattered knees.
You sit in the car, a stillness that feels alive, not peaceful, heavy, quiet echoing.
Your hoodie is still on from hours ago, shoes half untied, a message bubble sits open on your phone. Type delete it, type delete it. Because men aren't supposed to say this hurt me. There's a picture of her you forgot to take off your lock screen.
Her smile feels like a memory your heart isn't ready to bury. You tap the screen once, it lights your face like a confession. You were raised to hold it together, raised to fix everything, raised to keep moving. So now you just sit there, not knowing how to fix a wound that didn't bleed on the outside. Your breathing stumbles, your hands shake, but your face stays still, because that's the skill man learned early. It's hurt quietly. You're not broken because you love, you're broken because you weren't seen.
They say men don't cry, but they don't see the nights we hide our eyes, fighting battles in our chests that no one ever recognized. They say men stay strong, but they don't feel the weight we carry long, the kind that crushes slowly when the world keeps moving on.
Yeah, when men break,
The world shrugs, but heaven leans close, because God never called your pain weakness.
He called it truth, yeah. Yeah. You remember every detail, she probably forgot how her hair fell forward when she laughed, how she talked about her fears in a whisper, how she trusted you in ways you didn't think you deserved. You would've fought kingdoms for her, but she walked away without a war. Nobody told men that being ghosted feels like mourning someone who's still alive. Nobody told men that silence can feel like being left for dead. You gave her patience, she gave you distance. You gave her honesty, she gave you confusion. You gave her loyalty, she gave you nothing
To hold on to, now you sit in the dark, wondering why your heart still hopes for a goodbye that will never come.
The world says move on, your heart says but I wasn't done. Some nights you wish she knew how hard it is to stay strong when no one stays for you.
They say men don't cry, but they don't hear the prayers we choke inside, the ones we whisper so soft it feels like we're trying to convince ourselves we still matter. They say men stay strong, but they don't know the fight we carry on, trying to love with hands that tremble and a heart that's been stepped on.
Hey, when men break, it isn't loud, it's a collapse inside the soul. I'm the echo of the men who feel forgotten, holding loyalty in hands that the world left rotten. We're the ones who show love when the moment gets toxic, but they treat our hearts like a trend in their pocket. I carry peace, but she left me with war marks. Love like a lion, but got ghosted in the dark. Act like we're still till the soul starts to spark. Try not to drown while we fall apart, but hear me, your value ain't found in who chose to leave. Other lies they whisper just to make you believe. You were too sensitive, too open, too much, too deep. Those words weren't truth, they were wounds dressed as speech. You're not weak, and you're rare. A heart like yours isn't common anywhere. You love with action, you love with prayer. You show up even when nobody's there. Stand tall, not because you didn't break, but because breaking and take you fire and dire refines. And a man who survives what you survive comes back with power in his spine.
Psalm 34.
Verse 18.
The Lord is near unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. He is close, even when you feel far.
They say men don't, but heaven counts every tear you never let fall, every silence you survive, every moment you stay strong when you felt small. They say men stay strong, but strength is rising when life feels wrong, lifting your head when your heart feels gone, walking through fire till God says dawn. When men break,
He rebuilds you stronger. He restores what life stole. He teaches you to stand again, not as a man who was left behind.
You scroll one more time. You don't wanna. But a loyal man's heart doesn't let go easy. Hope is the last part of you that dies, even when she already left without a word. Your phone lights your face like a question you're afraid to ask. No message, no closure, just absence, the kind that makes you doubt your own worth. Ghosting doesn't just hurt, it distorts. Makes you look at yourself differently. Makes you wonder what you did wrong when you gave nothing but honesty. You set the phone down slow because dropping it feels too close to what she did to you. You exhale, long control, like a man trying to keep his soul from shaking. You whisper into the quiet, I didn't deserve this. Left on red when my heart was wide open. You vanished quick like your love was a moment. No explanation, just cold, quiet motion. How do you heal from something that wasn't broken, just stolen? And the silence hits harder than the truth ever could. You weren't asking her for much, just honesty, just respect, just consistency. The basics, but the basics are impossible when someone never planned to stay. You replay your last conversation, a soft laugh, a careful tone, her promises that sounded real, but meant nothing in the end. You were the one who showed up, the one who checked in, the one who listened, the one who understood her storms. But she walked away like none of it mattered. Not even a goodbye, not even a warning. Women don't always understand this part. When a man cares, it's real. When a man opens his heart, it's rare. When a man falls, he falls deep, yeah. So when she ghosts you, it's not rejection, it's betrayal without the honesty. You want too much, you were too genuine, for someone who wasn't ready to hold something real. Left on red when my heart was wide open. You disappeared like the truth was too heavy to be spoken. All I got was a silence I had to hold, and now I'm healing from words you never had the courage to say. I gave love like a lion and she left like smoke. Vanished clean, not a reason, not a word she spoke. Treat a king like a secret they never promote, then blame us when we bleed from the cut of their ghosts. You think men don't feel this pain inside? We just hide the tears that our pride won't let slide. We break in the shadows where nobody stands, cause nobody checks when the man collapses in his hands. But hear me clear, rejection ain't failure, it's heaven's redesign. If she ran from your heart, that's protection divine. Losing her wasn't loss, it's some mercy in time. Some doors close quiet so your spirit can climb. She stay real, she stay running, and one day she'll see what she threw away without thinking. If she couldn't value a loyal man, it's blindness, not your flaw. Your word stands tall, even after what you saw. If she ghosted your soul, that means she couldn't carry your fire. When my father and my mother forsake me, and the Lord will take me up. He didn't leave you, he didn't go silent, he stayed when she didn't. But heaven caught every tear I didn't admit. God saw the messages I typed out in hope, then erased when I couldn't handle it. But I'm not broken like she expected. I'm chosen, protected. But I'm in caught every tear I did, cause all the messages I typed out in hope, then erased when I couldn't handle. But I'm not broken like she expected, like a chosen, who's accepted and entered by carved a space where God could speak louder. Her absence made room for someone wiser, safer, true. Ghosted by her, seen by God, and that's the story that saves me, not the one that hurt me. You don't talk about this pain. Men rarely do. Because how do you explain the feeling of loving someone quietly, deeply, honestly, and watching her choose someone else like you were never even an option? It's not rejection that breaks you, it's invisibility. It's being the man she trusted, but not the man she wanted. It's realizing you held space for her heart while she saved the softness for another man. You were the safe place, the listener, the encouragement, the steady hand through her storms. And in the end, she took everything you poured out and gave a smile to someone who didn't carry half of what you did. You whisper into the empty room, why wasn't I enough?
I wasn't enough for you. Though I gave you truth you never found in him. I wasn't enough for you. Though I love the parts of you you try to hide from the world. You didn't break my heart, you just didn't choose it. And somehow that hurts more.
Yeah. You were the one who understood her deeper fears before she spoke them. The one who noticed her sadness even when she smiled. The one who stayed up with her when she couldn't sleep. The one who prayed for her even when she didn't know. But she didn't fall for the loyal one. She fell for comfort disguised as chaos. She ran toward the attention instead of the intention. She chased the thrill instead of the stability. You watched her dress up for someone who didn't value her soul. You heard her talk about her dreams, knowing you would've helped build them if she ever let you. You held her when she cried over him, even though your heart was breaking, cause she wasn't crying over you. It's not that you weren't enough, it's that she wasn't ready for the kind of love you bring.
I wasn't enough for you. Though you trusted me with truths you never told anyone. I wasn't enough for you. Though I carried your pain while you carried your presence. I wasn't enough for you.
And you'll never know what that cost me. Yeah. Yo. I was the shoulder you leaned on when life got real. Held you close when your world lost feel. I spoke life in your wounds just to help you heal. But you chose a man who won't guard your zeal. You ran toward the noise while I stayed your peace. Gave your love to a man whose loyalty's least. I showed you forever, he showed you release. But you chased the chaos like it often increasing. Now I ain't mad, just hurting the places I don't admit. You talk about him like he's worth the risk, while I'm the one who saw your soul when it's split. Funny how loyalty never seems to begin when a man stands solid and never quits. But listen, your worth is not tied to who didn't see it. If she chose lesser, that's a grace you don't feel yet. God don't let a king sit in a place that would lower his spirit. Sometimes being not enough to her means you're too much for the journey she's fearing. Stand up, king, you didn't lose her. You were spared from becoming someone smaller.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
This heartbreak is not the end of your story.
I wasn't enough for you, but I was more than enough for the man I'm becoming. I wasn't enough for you, but God is healing the places you didn't cherish. And I wasn't enough for you, but that doesn't mean I wasn't worthy, steady or chosen.
You didn't choose me,
And maybe that's mercy.
the love I held for you wasn't meant for your hands. But one day someone's gonna thank God you survived this moment, because you were never not enough. You were simply meant for something more. You stand in a bathroom staring at yourself in the mirror, hands gripping the sink, trying to remember the last time someone asked if you were okay. Not what can you do for me, not can you help, not can you fix this, but genuinely, are you alright? You swallow hard, because somewhere along the line you became the man everyone leaned on. But no one protected the strong one, the quiet one, the dependable one, the one who absorbs pain so no one else has to feel it. But even anchors crack, even mountains crumble, even men who stand strong get stepped on when nobody sees the weight they carry. You whisper to your reflection, I'm tired, but I don't know how to say it.
I've been stepped on, taken for granted like I didn't bleed too. I've been wonder, but nobody asked what it cost to stay true. I've been stepped on, loved only when needed and forgotten when things were new. But God sees the weight that nobody knew.
Yeah. They think because you're strong, you can't break. They think because you're quiet, you don't feel. They think because you don't complain, you're never hurting. But men hurt deeply, quietly, internally, in the place that nobody checks. You were the one who showed up early and stayed late, the one who said I got it, even when you didn't have anything left. The one who forgave things that would have shattered anybody else. The one who loved without applause and gave without recognition. But they stepped on your heart like it didn't belong to a real person. Stepped on your time like it had no value. Stepped on your loyalty like it was a resource they were entitled to. You weren't weak, you were giving innocent people confused generosity for permission to take everything.
I've been stepped on, like my love didn't cost me anything, like my silence wasn't a battle I kept swallowing. I've been stepped on, but I'm done being the ground beneath their wandering. God saw every tear I never let fall.
They walk on your soul cause you carry the load. Think a man's made of steel so the pain won't show. But I'm fire inside and I'm ready to blow, cause the weight on my chest got me moving slow. They say you're strong, but that's code for breaking silence. We fight wars in our minds while they preach non-violence. We bleed in the shadows cause our hurt feels private, and drown in emotions we never got taught to write with. But listen, you ain't weak for the scars you hide. You a warrior built to survive what others deny. Being stepped on don't lessen your pride. That reveals the heart you keep fortified. Let the ones who took without giving, let them fade the ones who fed on your forgiving. Stand firm in the truth that God kept hidden. You're not a doormat, you're a king still risen. Psalm 55, verse 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee.
Your strength was never meant to be carried alone.
I've been stepped on, but I'm standing now with a fire they didn't expect. I've been stepped on, but God is lifting the weight from around my neck. I've been stepped on, but I am not broken, not forgotten, not less. I was never meant to be beneath anyone's feet. I've been stepped on, 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 I've been stepped on. Stepped on, but now restored. Stepped on, but still chosen.
This is the part where I learned my worth from the one who never stepped on me.
Oh, You sit alone in your car at night, engine on, hands on the wheel, trying to breathe through a pain you can't put into words. You did everything right, you loved without games, you stayed when it was inconvenient, you kept your promises long after there's collapse. But loyalty becomes a wound when it's poured into the wrong hands, and you whisper into the dark, why does it hurt this much? to be a good man. The night doesn't answer, but the spirit does.
Quiet, steady, gentle in your chest.
You didn't lose by loving, they lost by leaving. Loyalty hurts
When the ones you died for
wouldn't even fight for you.
wouldn't even fight for.
Loyalty hurts,
When you show up consistently,
still feel invisible in the room. Loyalty hurts,
God holds the tears you never let anyone see.
He knows what it costs to keep loving faithfully.
You were first called when they needed something, the last thought when they were choosing someone, the strong back when they were falling apart, the quiet listener when the whole world was noise. But loyalty drains a man when it's never returned. You kept giving from an honest place only to be met with excuses, half effort, inconsistency, and temporary affection. You watch people love you when it benefited them and it benefited you. When it required effort and you still stayed loyal.
That's not weakness, that's Christ-like.
Proverbs 20 verse 6. Most men will proclaim everyone his own goodness, but a faithful man who could find.
You are the rare one, the faithful one, the real one.
For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name.
He never forgets the loyalty people took advantage of. Psalm 34. If attained of righteous and his ears are open unto their cry.
Every silent tear was heard.
Oh, because you loved real.
Because you love real.
In a world that loves convenient. Because your heart stays steady.
Your heart stays
When there's turned instead. But God keeps the record.
God keeps the record
Of everything they broke.
everything they broke.
And everything you rebuilt. Yeah. I stood loyal in storms they never survived. Had the weight on my shoulders just to keep them alive. I poured truth in their wounds so they finally revived. But they did when my heart needed room to thrive. They took my love like a loan with no payback. Let my loyalty stretch thin like a worn out track. But Psalm 27, God's got my back. He lets me when the people I carry their attack. I ain't soft, I'm just built with a heart that's rare. I give deep, I don't love halfway or with fear. But Matthew 5 verse 8 makes it clear. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God near. I've been used, overlooked, misunderstood. Did more for them than anybody else would. But Romans 8:28 says it's all for good. Every hurt, every tear, every loss I withstood. I'm loyal, but now I'm loyal with boundaries. I'm strong, but now I guard what surrounds me. God cleared out the ones who only drain me, so we can fill my life with the ones who won't chain me. I say you're 41.
Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God.
I will strengthen thee.
Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
Listen now.
No, you didn't stand alone.
You didn't stand alone.
You didn't love alone.
You didn't love alone.
You didn't break alone.
You held you when loyalty felt like a punishment.
Loyal to me.
God is healing.
But God is healing the parts of
I'm
you.
healing the parts of you.
They walk through carelessly, but he restores every piece.
Disease they mishandled.
But the heart that stayed true will rise higher than the hearts that betrayed it. You weren't wrong for loving, then were wrong for wasting it. Yeah.
You weren't for loving, they were wrong for wasting it. Your loyalty wasn't a weakness, it was a seed, and God will grow it.
Somewhere worthy.
You wake up tired, not from lack of sleep, from carrying everything.
no one else even sees. The bills, the pressure, the past, the future, the expectations, the loneliness, the doubts, you carry it all quietly. Because somewhere along the line, you learn that your pain wasn't allowed to take up space. You're the one who's supposed to hold it together, be the foundation, be the steady one, be the strong one, be the man. But even the strongest men have moments where their chest feels too tight, their mind feels too heavy, and their soul whispers, I can't keep doing this alone. Heaven hears you more than you think. Nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it,
But God does.
but God does.
The weight he carries,
The weight he carries,
heavy on his back but silent in his voice,
breaking him slowly.
in ways he'll never admit. But God's strength is the man the world forgets. You worry about things you never say out loud. You solve problems before they ever reach anyone else. You break in private so others don't break in front of you. You're the man who drives home in silence because you don't want to bring your burdens inside. The man who smiles even when his mind is drowning. The man who takes on pressure just so others don't feel any. You've carried jobs you hated because people depended on you. Carried responsibilities that one chose to hold. Carried emotions that were never handled gently in return. You're exhausted but still faithful, still strained but still steady. You're hurt but still giving. This is why God honors men like you. Verse 2, bear you one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. But nobody ever told you your burdens weren't meant to be carried alone. Psalm 55, verse 22, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain. You were never designed to lift this weight by yourself. You 11, verses 28 to 30, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Jesus didn't tell you to be strong, he told you to come.
The way he carries,
Kept inside his chest like a secret nobody asked about,
the way he carries,
making him tired in places he can't explain.
the way he carries,
Feels endless,
feels endless.
but heaven hasn't left him alone.
The way he carries,
Yeah, I'm carrying stress that nobody knows. Walk like a warrior wherever I go. They see calm on my face, but inside I'm low. Carrying storms I don't ever show. Pressure on my mind like a world on fire. Trying to stand tall, but my soul gets tired. Every expectation, every load required. Feels like a mountain that God never desired. But Isaiah 40, verse 31 says, rise. God lifts the man whose burden inside. We running out weary, walking out slide. Strength renewed like an eagle in flight. I ain't weak for the weight I hold. I ain't soft for the tears untold. I'm a man built strong by God, so bold, turning pressure in my chest into faith, refined gold. I carry much, but I'm carried too. I'm not alone, God's pulling me through. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yeah. I will help thee, yeah. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. You didn't lift this weight alone, he held the part you couldn't.
the way he carries,
God is lifting now, piece by piece.
the way he carries,
God is turning into strength for the man he's becoming.
the way he carries,
Felt like it would crush him,
but it didn't.
he stood,
He endured what
he overcame.
is even when waiting.
Because even when nobody knew the battle,
God did,
even when nobody thanked him,
God saw him,
even when nobody lifted him,
God held him. The way he carries,
made him stronger than he ever realized.
the way he carries.
You were told the rules early. Hold it in. Toughen up. Crying is weakness. Emotion is failure. Silence is strength. So you learn to swallow tears before they ever reach your eyes. You learn to clench your jaw until the moment passed. You learn to hurt quietly, so nobody would see the storm inside you. But this lie has a cost. It breaks men from the inside out. It teaches sons to bury pain instead of heal it. It teaches brothers to fall in silence with no one reaching for them. It teaches men to die emotionally long before they die physically. And you whisper to yourself in the dark, why does nobody see I'm hurting too? Heaven sees, God sees, and He never asked you to hide your tears.
They say men don't cry, but I bled inside my chest more than anyone knows. They say men don't cry, but God catches every tear. I never let show.
I'm hurting, but I'm healing. 'Cause real strength is letting go. You remember the first time you felt your throat tighten and someone told you, stop, be a man. Nobody told you men do cry. David cried, Jeremiah cried, Jesus himself wept, but you weren't taught that scripture. You were taught silence. So now you break in your car with the music turned low. Now you cry in the shower so the water hides it. Now you pray at night with a voice so thin you barely recognize it. You carry 1,000 unspoken tears that never had permission to fall. But tears don't make a man weak, they make him human. They make him honest, they make him whole. John 11, verse 35, Jesus wept. If the Son of God cried,
Why can't you?
put down my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? God stores the tears the world tells you to hide. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Your tears are seeds, not shame. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Emotion is not a failure, it's a doorway.
They say men don't cry,
But strength is in silence,
and healing isn't pride.
healing isn't
They
pride.
say men don't cry,
But how do you fix a heart you're never allowed to show from the inside? Men break, men feel, men rise,
And their tears are real. Yeah, I've been choking on the pain they said to hide. Trained from young to keep the hurt inside. Smile on face, but I'm barely alive. Moving like a warrior, but torn in the mind. Men don't cry, that's a lie that kills. Make a soldier bleed out while he sits still. Makes a father drown behind unpaid bills. Makes a brother break with no space to feel. But Psalm 34 says God draws near to the brokenhearted, drowning in fear. He don't shame tears, he treasures them clear. He writes them down so your sorrow disappears. I ain't weak if a tear hits my face. I'm a man in the middle of God's embrace. I'm strong 'cause I rise after every heartbreak. I'm real 'cause I feel and still stay in place. So let the tears fall. They ain't failure. They're proof you fought battles and didn't let darkness take you. A broken and a contrite heart, oh God, thou wilt not despise.
broken and a contrite heart.
Oh God, thou wilt not despise. God never rejected your tears.
People did. They say men don't cry
but God made tears.
to wash out the pain.
You were never meant to carry alone.
They say men don't cry,
But every tear you let fall is a step toward healing. You're not less of a man for feeling. You're more of one for surviving what tried to break you.
Men cry, men heal, men rise, men are held by God.
When no one else sees their hurt.
And that truth is the beginning of freedom.
you know what it feels like to be the villain in a story you didn't write. To have people judge you from a distance they never tried to cross. To be blamed for things you weren't even present for. People don't ask questions anymore. They assume, they project, they pick the version of you that fits their narrative best. And while they run their mouths, you stand there quietly, holding the pain, holding the shame, holding the weight of a reputation you never deserve.
You whisper,
You whisper,
I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
So why does it feel like I'm paying for everything?
Heaven answers,
You're not defined by their mud.
you're refined by my fire.
Dragged through the mud.
Labeled, judged, and misunderstood.
Dragged through the mud.
Even when my heart was clean and my intentions good. But God sees truth, no lie ever could.
Dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
Dragged through the mud.
They didn't see your sacrifice, they didn't see your loyalty. They didn't see the nights you prayed for the same people who ruined your name. You try to explain yourself, but people hear what they want, not what's real. You watch friends turn strangers, strangers turn judges, judges turn executioners. You watch someone blame you to hide their own guilt. You saw them smear your name to protect their comfort. And what hurt most was not the lie, but the silence of the people who knew better and said nothing. But God isn't silent, and He saw it all. Isaiah 54, verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. The lie won't last, the truth will outlive the mud. Psalm 37, verse 6. And He shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. God doesn't hide innocence, He reveals it. Proverbs 19, verse 5. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. Heaven keeps receipts.
Dragged through the mud.
But I'm still standing in the truth they tried to bury.
Dragged through
But God is lifting me above the lies they carry. But I refuse to let dirt define me.
Dragged through the mud.
They threw my name in the dirt, hoping I'd stay there. Called me the villain cause truth wasn't their affair. Told half the story just enough to sound fair, but I left out every detail that showed I care. But listen, God sees through lies in the dark, cuts through the rumors and judges the heart. Psalm 27, God sets me apart. The light shines clean when a slander departs. They drag me down, but I rose above, cause God don't abandon the ones who love. I ain't shaped by the gossip they whispered of. My name's defined by the one above. So talk if you want, I'm built on rock. When the mud gets thrown, my soul won't rot. Lies fade quick, but the truth won't stop. God lifts kings from the places they drop.
The Lord will perfect that which concerneth me. Thy mercy, O Lord, endure forever. Forsake not the works of thine own hands. He won't let your name die in someone else's life.
Dragged through the mud.
But I'm cleaner now than I've ever been.
Dragged through
But God washed off what people try to pin. And I learned this truth, what they do with me could never stick. When God's hand is over me, that dirt didn't destroy me. It revealed me, revealed who they were, and who I am in Him. Who I am in Him. Dragged through the mud.
Everybody talks about the ones who leave, the ones who cheat, the ones who lie, the ones who ghost, the ones who break hearts. But almost nobody talks about the ones who stay, the men who show up even when they're exhausted, the men who stay loyal even when they've been hurt, the men who protect, provide, encourage, and carry without making a scene. You're one of them, and somewhere deep inside, you wonder if anyone even notices. You whisper into the quiet, does it matter that I stayed? Heaven answers, it matters more than you know.
This one's for the ones who stay, the men who fight for love when walking away would have been easier.
This one's for the ones who stay,
Who carry weight in silence just to keep a home steady. This one's for the ones who stay.
Yeah. Real men stay even when they're hurting. Real men love even when they tired. Real men forgive even when they weren't understood. Real men build even when they feel broken. Real men show up, not because they don't feel pain, but because they overcome it. You weren't perfect, but you were present. You weren't loud, but you were loyal. You weren't flashy, but you were faithful. People will forget the distance you carried them, but God won't. People will take your presence for granted, but heaven recorded every moment. Proverbs 27. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Men who stay sharp in the world. Matthew 25 verse 21. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Your faithfulness is seen
even when people don't say it.
The memory of the just is blessed.
Your legacy will outlive the silence. This one's for the ones who stay.
The quiet protectors, the steady hearts, the unspoken heroes.
This one's for the ones who stay.
God sees every sacrifice you made in love. This one's for the ones who stay.
Yeah, I'm talking to the men who stayed when life hit hard and the bills got paid. Talking to the ones who didn't walk away, even when their own soul begged them to stray. Yeah, talking to the men who held their ground, held their family, held love when it drowned. Men who didn't run when the pain came round, stood tall in the storm with no one around. Hey, you're the backbone, the structure, the strength and the pain. You're the quiet in the chaos when life feels insane. Galatians 6:9. Don't be weary in well-doing. Your harvest is coming, your blessings pursuing. You ain't unnoticed, you ain't forgotten, you ain't unseen. Your consistency's uncommon, your faithfulness rare, your loyalty solid. You stayed when the world said men like you were spotted, but God kept record of every night you prayed, every weight you carried, every battle you stayed. For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. He remembers every moment you stayed when others left.
This one's for the ones who stay.
Yeah, he remembers every moment you stayed when others left. He remembers every moment you stayed when others left. He remembers every moment you stayed when others left. He remembers every moment.
This one's for the ones who stay. The men who don't quit, don't run, don't fold. The men who love strong and give deep and hold on even when their own heart hurts. This one's for the ones who stay. God sees you, God honors you, God rewards the faithful.
And one day, someone will thank him that you stay. Because men like you are rare, and heaven calls your loyalty holy.
You sit on the edge of your bed, lights off, phone silent, heart heavy. It's not that you want attention, you just want to feel like you're seen. You just want to believe your life matters to someone. People think men don't feel loneliness the same way, but loneliness hits men differently. Quiet, deep, invisible. It crawls into the spaces of your mind where doubts whisper. You're replaceable, you're forgotten, you're not enough, you're alone. And you breathe slow, trying to stay strong, while something inside you breaks quietly. But heaven breaks the silence and says, you're alone, but you're not worthless.
Alone but not worthless.
God sees the tears you won't let fall.
Not worthless.
You matter more than the silence tells it all.
Alone but not worthless.
Your life has value, even when no one calls. You check your phone too often, not because you're desperate, but because you wanna know someone thought of you. You pour to people who never pour back.
You show up for others who never check if you made it home. You hold your pain in silence cause the world taught you that men who speak up are weak, too emotional, dramatic. So you break when no one sees, in the car, in your room, in your prayers, where the only witness is God.
Alone but not worthless.
You're not worthless for wanting love. You're not weak for wanting connection. You're not broken, you're human, and God didn't create anything without purpose. When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up. Even when people fail you, God steps in. Isaiah 43, since thou wast precious in my sight, I have loved thee, you are precious even when you don't feel it. Matthew 10, that therefore ye are of more value than many sparrows. Your worth is not determined by who texts you back. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you. God has plans for you even when the world ignores you.
Alone but not worthless.
God held you when the world let go. Your story isn't over, it's just slow.
Alone but not worthless.
You value more than you'll ever know. Yeah, I've been sitting in silence, feeling disconnected, wondering if my life ever gets respected. Pain in my chest that I never projected, world on my shoulders that I never elected. Nobody texts, nobody calls, nobody checks when a strong man falls. But Psalm 145, God is it all. He lifts the broken when they hit the wall.
I'm alone, yeah,
but I'm not unseen. God in the shadows moves in between.
heals the scars.
Nobody's seen, turns my isolation into something clean.
I ain't worthless,
I ain't disposable,
I ain't forgotten.
I'm unstoppable. My life has weight, cause God made it purposeful. My pain's the soil where my faith grows vertical. See, the Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart. You are never alone in the way you fear.
Alone but not worthless.
You carry value, even when your phone is quiet. God saw the nights, you cried in private. The pain you feel, it's proof you're alive, you're still chosen. You matter, your life matters, your story matters.
You matter. Your life matters. Your story matters. And God refuses to let you slip through the cracks of this world. You are alone in the way you feel.
You're sitting there quiet, not because you don't care, but because you're tired of carrying everything and being asked nothing. People ask how she feels, people ask what she needs, people ask what she went through, people ask who broke her, but nobody asks you. Nobody stops and says,
What about him?
what about the man who stayed? What about the man who tried? What about the man who broke quietly so no one else had to?
What about him? About him?
What about the man who forgave more than he received?
What about the man who loved hard?
What about the man who loved hard and got judged harder? God leans close and says,
I saw what they never asked.
and I never forgot you.
What about him?
The man who cried alone when no one checked his pain.
What about him?
The man who stayed loyal while others walked away.
What about him?
The man the world overlooked but God calls by name.
Yeah, they know her heartbreak, they don't know yours. They know her side, they don't know your truth. They know her wounds, they don't know the scars you kept hidden so she wouldn't feel guilty. They know when she broke, but did anyone notice? When you did, you held her when she cried, but who held you when she walked away? weight. You apologize for things you didn't do, just to calm a storm you didn't create. You were the one who stayed up late, fixing what is falling apart while everyone blamed you for the cracks.
But heaven knows what people refuse to see.
He healeth the broken in heart and bindeth up their wounds. His healing includes men too. A man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Jesus understands the weight you carry.
The eyes of the Lord are upon the righteous, even when no one else looks your way. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. God saw every moment you were overlooked. What about him?
The man who hurt silently because no one cared enough to ask.
What about him?
The man who gave effort when others only gave excuses.
What about him?
The man who mattered even if they never said it.
I've been the man in the shadows with a heart that bleeds, carry pain in my chest while I meet others' needs. Been strong for the world, though it cut me at the knees. Expected to stand tall like I don't get weak. Everybody asks how she feels, what she faced, what she healed, but nobody asked what the damage to my soul revealed. But God saw me, held me, stood with me, broke chains off me, the world didn't see.
He's the strength in me, my healer, defender, my identity.
Yeah, I've been quiet, but I ain't unseen. God writing truth, everything I've been. I'm rising from the pain they painted me in. I'm worth more than the story they put me in. In the day of my trouble, I will call upon thee,
For thou wilt answer me.
God heard the cries you never spoke.
What about him?
The man who stood strong while breaking on the inside.
What about him?
The man who loved real in a world full of fake.
What about him?
The man who gave when nobody gave back.
yeah. Here's the truth nobody told you. God saw every sacrifice, God counted every tear, God honored every moment. You were never invisible, you were never worthless, you were never forgotten. Heaven has always known your name.
What about him?
There's a type of man who steps forward when everyone else steps back. A man who isn't fearless but moves anyway. Not because he feels strong, but because someone he loves could get hurt if he doesn't.
People see your strength, they don't see the cost. They don't see the nights you stay awake, wondering if you're doing enough. They don't see the weight you carry silently, so others can sleep peacefully.
You whisper in the quiet, who protects me? And heaven answered, I do.
He's got the heart of a protector.
Stands in the storm so they don't get it.
Heart of a protector.
Carrying battles they never even knew we fought through.
Heart of a protector.
Strong, scarred,
But God protects him too.
You taking hits that weren't meant for you. Held pressure that would crush someone else. You stood in front of bullets, emotional ones, spiritual ones, real ones, because you love too deeply to walk away. You shield people who don't always thank you. You guard hearts who don't always guard yours. You give safety to those who never ask if you feel safe to. But strength isn't what you showed them. Strength is what you survive when no one knows how much it took to stand there. John 13.
Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Your protection reflects Christ.
He is my refuge and my fortress. The protector has a protector. Proverbs 8:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. Even strong men need shelter. Isaiah 54 verse 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Even protectors are protected.
Heart of a protector.
He bleeds quietly so others don't.
Heart of a protector.
He stands tall even with fear in his throat.
Heart of a protector.
God honors the man
Who defends with love.
Yeah, I'm built for the fight when the world gets cold. Stand in the fire while the flames take hold. I protect with a heart that's better than bold. Carry burdens in my chest that I never let show. People see calm but they don't see the war. See the peace I give but not the wounds I bore. I shield their hearts till my own gets sore. I break in the dark so they break no more. But Psalm 28,
God is my strength,
my shield, my helper, my refuge and link. I'm protected by heaven in every event. And the battles I fought were divinely sent. I ain't just strong, I'm guarded by grace, covered by mercy, held in God's place. A protector, yeah, but not by my pace. I'm lifted by the one who watches my space. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The protector has never been unprotected.
Your scars are stories of the lives you shared.
heart of a protector.
Your courage is seen by the God who built it.
Heart of a protector.
You're not
alone. Heaven the protector. Heaven stands with you in every battle. Heart of a protector. And when you think no one sees the way you bear,
God does. And He calls your loyalty holy.
There's a kind of pain that doesn't kill you, but buries you alive. People thought you were finished. Circumstances wrote your obituary. Life piled dirt on top of your dreams, your confidence, your hope. You weren't dead.
You weren't dead.
Just buried.
Under heartbreak.
Under heartbreak, under responsibility.
The silence.
Under the weight no one knew you carried. You lay there in the dark, long enough to believe maybe this was it. Maybe you'd stay underground forever. But then something small, quiet, holy, moved inside your chest. A breath you didn't expect, a spark you didn't create.
God whispering.
You're not done.
Buried, breathing.
I should have been gone, but God kept my pulse.
Buried, breathing.
Dark all around me, but the light refused to close.
Breathing.
They thought it was over, but heaven said no. You've had seasons where you weren't yourself, seasons where you shut down, where laughter felt foreign, where hope felt fake. You lay under the weight of shame, under the lies they told about you, under mistakes you blamed yourself for, under the heartbreak of someone you gave your all to and lost anyway. You didn't see daylight, you didn't see joy, you didn't believe healing was even possible. And still your heart kept beating, your breath kept coming, your soul refused to die. You weren't failing, you were growing in a place no one could see. Seeds sprout in dark places too. When I fall, I shall arise. Falling was not your ending. There is hope of a tree, though it be cut down, yet through the scent of water it will bud. Hope grows back. I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. Your survival is prophecy. Arise, shine, for thy light has come. It's time. God kept something alive in me. Still rising, still here, still chosen. I'm coming out of the dirt with purpose. Yeah, I've been under the ground with no sunlight in sight. Felt the pressure of the dirt turn my days into night. I was deep in the dark with no strength to fight, but God sparked a flame and it brought back light. They thought I was done, like my spirit had drowned, but God put me up from the cold hard ground. Set my feet on the rock, made my heart resound. Turned my burial site to a battleground. I'm a comeback king with a breath in my chest. Pain tried to kill me, but God said rest. Now I'm rising with a strength that can't be suppressed. Buried ain't dead, it's just phase one of bless. I'm breathing, I'm healing, I'm stepping back strong. God resurrected what the world called gone. Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. He breathed into places you thought were lifeless. The dirt didn't win, it prophesied resurrection. Buried but breathing, the grave was a classroom, now the coffin.
rising again. Not who I was, but who I was meant to be.
I wasn't buried to die. I was buried to grow.
And now, I'm breathing.
I'm breathing.
There's a silence men know too well. Not the peaceful kind, not the restful kind, the hollow kind, where the room feels cold, the phone stays still. The world keeps spinning and you feel like you got left behind. It's the silence after you gave everything. The silence after being strong for too long. The silence after people vanish the moment you need them. The silence where your thoughts get louder than your prayers. You whisper into that emptiness, God, are you still here? And heaven answers quietly, yes, I never left.
In the hollow silence,
I hear my fears louder than my voice.
in the hollow silence,
I feel unseen like I'm fading by choice.
in the hollow silence,
God holds me steady when the world steals noise. You've had nights where you stared at the ceiling, wondering why nobody called back, why nobody checked in, why nobody asked if you were alright. You've had days where the quiet wasn't peaceful, but painful, heavy, suffocating. You sat alone, not because you wanted to, but because you felt like a burden. If you said you weren't okay, you carried the silence like it was your punishment, like you deserved it, like your feelings didn't matter. But silence isn't always abandonment. Sometimes it's God removing noise so you can hear him again. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness is not emptiness. 1 Kings 19. Us 12 a still small voice. God speaks quietly, so you lean closer, my soul. Wait thou only upon God. The silence is a waiting room, not a grave. Yeah, the darkness hideth not from me. Your quiet place isn't hidden from him. My heart feels fragile, but God feels near.
in the hollow silence,
I'm breaking slowly, but healing starts here.
in the hollow silence,
His presence fills what fear tries to clear. Yeah, I've been in the quiet, where the doubt gets loud. Felt invisible, walk in the middle of a crowd. Had nights where the silence felt heavy as a shroud, and I begged God softly, can you hear me now? But Psalm 34 says he hears my cry. Draws close to the broken when their hope runs dried. Even when I sit alone with a tear in my eye, he's the strength in the stillness where fears multiply. Silence ain't empty when God's in the room. He's the light in my darkness, the break in my gloom. Every hollow low moment was a hidden bloom. Seeds grow deeper when buried in doom. So let the quiet fall, I'm not undone. God's in the whisper that breaks the numb. Breaks the numb, breaks the numb, breaks the numb, breaks the numb.
Deuteronomy 31. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
he will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. The silence light,
God didn't leave.
in the hollow silence,
I found a strength I didn't know I had.
in the hollow silence,
I felt God breathe when the world felt bad.
in the hollow silence,
I realized peace doesn't need sound, just him. The silence didn't break me, it revealed me, and God met me in the quiet place where no one else ever came.
Not every man breaks in a storm. Some men are made by it. You've walked through things that should have destroyed you. Betrayal, silence, weight, loneliness, rejection, pressure, loss. You stood in fire other people ran from. You endured things. No one ever thanked you for surviving. You whisper into the memory. Why did all this have to hurt so much? Heaven answers. Because I was building you.
Built from pain.
God used every tear to shape my strength.
Built from pain.
Every heartbreak stretched me farther than my limits went.
Built from pain.
I'm standing now, not in spite of it, but because of it. Every struggle changed you, not into someone colder but stronger, not into someone bitter but wiser, not into someone broken but rebuilt. Pain didn't just wound you, it taught you, it sharpened what was dull, it humbled what was proud, it strengthened what was fragile, it erased who you pretended to be and revealed who you truly are. The pressure you felt was God shaping the man you were always meant to become. You didn't know what was happening, but heaven did.
Romans 5, verses 3 and 4. Tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience hope.
Your pain built layers. Isaiah 48, as eternity in the furnace of affliction. The fire wasn't punishment, it was refining. 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. My strength is made perfect in weakness, your weakness birthed power.
After ye have suffered a while,
He make you perfect, establish strength and settle you.
they built your foundation.
I rise with strength I never saw in me.
Built from pain.
God turned my breaking into rebuilding quietly.
Built from pain.
I'm living proof that wounds can birth destiny. Yeah, I was crushed by storms that were meant to fold me, hit by waves that should have drowned the old me. But God took the pieces that life stole from me and forged a new man from what tried to control me. Pressure made diamonds in the cracks of my soul. Pain lit a fire that made broken things whole. I walked through valleys that swallowed my hope, but Psalm 23 kept my spirit afloat. Yeah, I'm tougher than the grief that left me undone, wiser than the lies that said I'd never become anything more than the battles I won. I'm a man, resurrection that hell couldn't outrun. I'm built, I'm strengthened, I'm refined in the flame. I survive and ascend and not lose and I gain. I'm not who I was. This pain taught me my name. For our light affliction worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Your pain was producing glory you couldn't see yet.
Built from pain.
I'm no longer the man who walked into the storm, I'm the man who walked out.
Built from pain.
What broke me yesterday builds me today.
Built from pain.
God formed a strength in me that suffering couldn't take. I'm not damaged, I'm developed, I'm not ruined, I'm refined. I'm built from pain and built for purpose.
Built from pain. Built from pain. Built from pain.
There's stars in a dark room where everything you've been and
When a man prays alone, God hears. Broken prayer, healing night. Somebody feels so tired. Your back hits the edge of the bed, your hands shake, your mind won't stop running. Your heart is tired. Use absence you can't describe. You survived everything, the ghosting, the heartbreak, the weight, the loneliness, the lies, the silence, the nights you broke quietly. Cause everyone believed you were the strong one.
They didn't see you close the bathroom door quietly so no one heard your breath hitch. They didn't see your jaw clench to keep your voice from cracking. They didn't see your chest rise and fall with unspoken panic. You didn't tell anyone, because men don't fall apart, we handle it.
But tonight, you sit on the floor with your back against the wall, and for the first time in a long time, you don't have the strength to pretend.
You whisper,
God, I can't do this alone.
Heaven doesn't hesitate.
God sits in the room
Before the second syllable leaves your lips.
When a man prays alone, heaven hears the words he was never taught to say. When a man prays alone, God moves in the silence that fear used to own. When a man prays alone,
God
his
hears,
broken whisper
becomes the place God speaks.
God rebuilt stone.
When the man prays alone,
Your voice is fragile, your breath is thin,
when the man prays alone,
your eyes burn with tears you've denied for years. You don't pray pretty, you don't pray like you're a church, you don't pray like people expect. You pray like a man who ran out of strength but not out of pain. You say things you've never allowed yourself to say out loud. God, I'm hurting. God, I'm tired.
God, I don't feel enough.
God, I don't know what to do.
God, I need help.
And for the first time, instead of feeling weak, you feel something real. Relief. Cause you finally stopped pretending God couldn't handle your honesty. His presence fills the room, not like a fire, not like thunder, but like breath you didn't know you needed. Like warmth inside cold bones, like strength settling into places that were shaking. This is the moment your soul unclenches.
The Lord is nigh to them that are broken heart. Your brokenness attracts Him, not your pretending.
He will hear their cry and will save them. Your whisper is enough. Jeremiah 31. Yeah, I have loved thee with an everlasting love. God loved you before you learned to love yourself. We have a high priest, touched with the feeling of our infirmities. Jesus felt everything you feel. Cast thy burden upon the Lord. You were never supposed to carry this alone.
When a man prays alone,
he finds strength.
the world never gave him.
When a man prays alone,
His tears become seeds of the man.
he's becoming him.
The weight lifts and his heart finally beats. When a man prays alone,
He finds
the
strength.
world never gave him.
When a man prays alone,
His tears become seeds of the man.
he's becoming.
The weight lifts and his heart finally breathes.
I've been on the floor with my head bowed low, felt the tremble in my chest where the fear won't go. I've been praying in the shadows where the lost men go, asking God for a spark cause my flame burned slow. But He met me there with the strength I lacked, took the weight off my soul, put it on His back. Isaiah 40, but He said I got your back. Turn my breaking into healing with a holy impact. I ain't dying in the places where I broke last year. God restored what I lost and erased my fear. Every prayer in the dark made His presence clear. I'm a man reborn with a vision severe. I prayed alone, but I rose with fire, rose with purpose, rose with desire. No shame, no silence, no hurt left higher. God took my ashes and built an empire. 1 Peter 5. Casting all your care upon Him, for He cared for you.
You didn't fall apart.
You fell into God's hands. You fell into God's hands. You fell into God's hands. Yeah, when a man prays alone, God gives him peace. Where scars used to live. When a man prays alone, his voice shakes, but his future doesn't. When a man prays alone, he becomes the man pain tried to stop.
No applause,
No crowd, no spotlight. No crowd, no spotlight. Just a man
On his knees and a God who never left. And in that quiet place, the final truth lands. He was never alone. He was the comer.
When a man prays alone.